Hello, hello, hello. Wait, Andy. It's... Mura lagi itong mga sa ani bro, murag media tech ang atong ang like the whole ecosystem that we're trying to make ba.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, with what we're doing with with Z Plats, di ba? It's
Yeah.
basically still media. No? Uh,
Exactly. Karon kay
yeah,
kuan pa man partnership pa lang ni Lex ba. Mo actually muna akong gi-istoryahan mo gani ha. Kay
uh,
naging partner na ko nila Lex o kuan si interesado kay si kuan
Herbert.
si Herbert oh.
Uh,
So ingon siya nga ipaskahan to ng to mga properties daw niya to sa kuan.
right.
Oh. So we're doing it for free at the moment kay market validation pa man sa.
wala itag intern bro na ano ba? Media creative. Ano mag-ano ba mo?
Nagkuhan man ko, nag-reach out ko sa CTU, dugay man yung makalihok.
Pwede ba ta mag-ano mo post dira sa bulletin board sa UP? Dira sa ubos ba?
Pwede di?
Di mo lagi. Kanang figure it out ba if we can, then di ba? Murag mo request ram siguro ka letter na, or kung if UP Diliman magay na kay dire-diretso ra na, wanay pananghid. I'm not sure with UP Cebu.
Sige, mangutana ko. Pero
Yeah,
as
dito di
far
ba?
as what I heard
Or
kay, they don't even advise UP students.
ha?
They don't
Sa?
advise UP students kay short, kay ilahang kanang kuan, ilang internship, mga 100 hours na daw.
We actually don't care, right? Okay,
Right,
malagi if we find people that are kanang like they do that for fun, they do that for free anyway. They do TikToks, they do all that shit for free. Na without being paid, without ano. So now if they have a space, if they have a little bit of allowance, diba? That's the people that we're trying to get, not the whole gamay ra ilang internship. Okay. Diba?
right.
That's the foot on the door, di ba? Pag
Okay.
maayos sila yung intern ato mang i-absorb, di ba? Pag
Mm.
pag pag it makes sense, no? If there's commercial viability to the project that they're doing, di ba? And then if it's directly creative, kay magamit man nato siya sa I mean, we can use them for Reva stuff, no?
Yeah.
So So ang ano na advantage na is we can also use them for Z plots, no? And then
Yeah.
when Reva staff is paying for the bill, yun na masalidara nimo.
Sige, nagkuhan ko sad ko kanang ni actually just recently nag-reach out sad ko sa CTU nga kuan and then karon gyud wala na may internship ro ng SGR so CTU na say kuan. Hey bro, what's up, Kenneth?
Yo, Jay.
Yo
Good
yo
to see you
yo.
again.
Yes, live from Dallas, Texas.
Sunod si Kenneth na sad from
Sunod.
Dubai.
O lagi. Yeah. Manay ano na to, bro. We need to like have international mindset. Gamay ra kay Pilipinas.
Tinawag
It's good to see you.
Vince, brother bro.
Good to see you.
What's up? Hey man,
Kamusta?
okay lang po.
So,
Nagigising ko lang.
oo nga. Anyway, ano lang naman to, like everybody knows each other, di ba? Like you both,
No,
obviously
Miguel,
Ken.
Nag-meet kami sa
yeah,
pitching
yeah, one of the events, right?
yeah.
Right, right. So, magkabatch ba kayo sa Aspire? Ay, sa Aspire, sa ano, sa, what's the ano again? Yung
Arise.
sa space? Arise?
Yeah, arise.
Sige, di ba?
Nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Sa, ayun no, dapat si Miguel, apply ka na ng Arise. That's the, ano,
Yeah,
next
actually it
Arise,
looks interesting when I
Startup
joined the
Island.
event dun sa Arise. Yeah.
Yeah. Dikit sa kubo.
In any case, well, thank you for ano accommodating my request as usual. No, yung mga go-to people ko kayo eh.
Ikaw pa.
So,
Ikaw pa.
oo nga eh. Pag may humindi sa inyo, yari kayo. Yun, tatampo ako. Anyway, the whole rationale of this ano is it's very quick, no? Tapos parang magiging this is part one. I don't even know how many parts, no. Like parang I'm doing it freestyle right now just because we have sponsors, no. Si Aspire at saka si Digital Pilipinas are asking me to do this or well, it was a this is the program that I wanted for them to sponsor us with, no. Uh like to answer the question how to start a startup in the Philippines, no, para contextual to the local ecosystem. Well, we have all of us have done accelerators, incubators, but a lot of them are not in the local context na in terms of diba, puro VC agad, di ba? Di pa nga tayo nag-DTI, BIR, no? VC agad yung pinag-uusapan ng ano. So anyway, parang this is parang hihimayin yung the whole uh the whole parang if you're like well the audience that we're targeting would be like aspiring founders and like founders that very early stage, no, like ideation stage founders that they don't know what the next steps are. And then the thing about this program is we're just trying to answer this question, no, how to start a startup in the Philippines, now in your own experience, in your own words, in your own insights, diba? Some may have been easier than others. Some may have been no harder than others. No, so this is kind of like so I'm not going to be the one to answer this question how to start a startup in the Philippines. But basically we're going to hopefully as a community answer this question for would-be aspiring founders and those early stage founders who's also trying to navigate this crazy startup world that we have. Yeah. I'd like to introduce you guys to ano pala, Patrick. Tayo-tayo lang naman eh. Like I didn't want to have like a live audience para ma-edit natin yung content, no. So Patrick is from Aspire. So I'm not sure if you know these people already, Patrick. So Vince is from Milo. And then Kenneth is from Presenter, then Miguel from Z Platts. Okay, and they will be talking about their startups right now. So so let's tapusin na natin. Like I want this to be like really quick lang, like half an hour. So diba, especially for aspiring founders na parang you're not really geeking out, you're just no shopping around if this is actually a career path for you. If you're an aspiring founder or you're a student or if you're a corporate person that you want to dive into the startup realm, then this is kind of like no not even 101 eh. Parang this is like the summer edition, diba? Before even the real no semester begins, no? So like very basic and it's gonna be like founders for founders rather than the usual case of non-founders because they're uh corporate people, tapos they're the ones who's actually advising founders, but they don't have the founder mindset, because they're basically there's nothing wrong with that, but we're trying to create a content that's going to be used for founders by founders. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So yun, that's gonna be like the backgrounder of this session. So call it session, call it meeting. Whatever. I don't even want to call it like a podcast or a webinar, because it's kind of like it's nascent stage. So we don't actually know what this could be, no? Sabi ko nga kay Miguel kanina, I want actually the first episode. So parang pangit yung lighting, parang- so once that we have like a whole production studio, then we would be able to compare episode 1 from episode 100. If
Yeah.
we have, you know, yun. Okay, so I have like a script here, no? So I'll just and then obviously we're gonna edit this episode to like the meatier content talaga. Oh. All right, let's start. All right, so welcome everyone to today's online discussion as we try to answer the question how to start a startup in the Philippines. No, this is this content. No, let's just say it. That content is designed for aspiring founders or like early stage founders who is eager to navigate the crazy startup world that we have, with founders uh, from different stages, from founders who are winning multiple awards like Milo, to founders who pivot, like Kenneth, to new founders like Miguel, like less than a year startups. So these are like we would keep it no diverse, no, in terms of stage, in terms of like even the tech, no. But the common thing is, no, tropa ko kayong lahat. So I know most of you guys know personally, and consider you as good friends, no. So for those out there who's like aspiring founders, because we're gonna be recording this, so we don't know if it's gonna be watched the next week, next month, or next year. No, for those who would Google how to start a startup, actually did Google how to start a startup in the Philippines, and there was very little content to none. No, yung parang how to register a business yung lumalabas, not really like starting a startup. So yeah, and I think that's a thing that you should be able to easily Google, how to start a startup in the Philippines. And there's very few content out there, or sabi ko nga parang none nga. So we're starting that trend. Anyway, my name's OJ Lopez, and I'm founder of PropTech Startup Revastaff.com. We do visual marketing content for real estate sellers to sell their properties faster. And today we have several founders that we have to discuss, and to try to answer this question: how to start a startup in the Philippines. So let's start with Kenneth. Kenneth, can you introduce yourself and your company and what you do?
Yeah, thanks, OJ. Hi, everyone. Good to meet you. Yeah, I'm Kenneth. We are from Presenters. What we do is we guide speakers to do their presentations, especially for events, and we help also teachers to set up their presentations without using a laptop. So what we do is we try to remove a lot of complexities and doing presentations, like removing a lot of hardwares like HDMI computers, and then run automations and events. We are now available on Samsung TV, Android TV, and we're looking also to release the LG TV. And we're excited to incorporate also AI related features to our platform. So we're excited for our launch in upcoming months.
Is it international?
Yeah. We now have more than 15,000 downloads across the world. We have downloads from Europe, Asia, and also in America. Yeah. So for the past nine weeks, I guess. So right now we're moving a lot of stuff.
Perfect. Patrick, alam mo na. They have international clients all over, no, sila Kenneth. So we'll also dive into, you know, the people responsible for sponsoring this session, no. But next, let's hear from Vince of Milo.
Yeah, thanks, OJ. Very impressive si Kenneth. They're less than a year and they're growing really fast.
Oh,
And apart from that, they also have subscribers already being a very young company, which is great. So a little about my company. Milo Speech Buddy is a speech development system for children with autism and speech delay. It is actually a company that I started for my son who was diagnosed with autism. We're a fairly young company. We just celebrated our first year this July. We're downloaded more than 60 times globally, more than 40 countries. We're profitable as a company, as a startup company too. And it's a very exciting time ahead because we will be expanding to each and every market, and we'll be localizing content to other countries soon. We will start with Taiwan, Japan, a little bit of UAE, Canada. So we will be creating more and more content so we can help out the children globally. So that's our main mission. When technically OJ and I, tayo dalawa, we are a little bit on the other side of a startup world. Because for me, it's the mission first, then the revenue. On the other hand, I
Sa akin,
believe,
pera muna.
pera muna, which in its ways are both effective as well, diba? When we really
Yeah,
have drivers.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. And what's the question again? There's no question, right? Introduction ko lang.
Yeah, just introduce yourself muna, and then later on we'll actually, there's no questions. It's like basta. Yan ako sa inyo yung
Yeah.
the format that I'm thinking of, no. Again, there's nothing set in stone. I'm just a crazy dude who trying to implement my crazy ideas. All right, so Miguel, your turn, bro.
Hey, so my name is Miguel. I'm an early founder of cplats.com. So what we do is we are an AI platform focusing on turning videos into 3D environments that you can see in VR or in an iPad. So a little bit of myself. I am a game developer by heart. I started as a game developer, and then how the startups started really was it was just basically a tool that we use in our workflow, creating environment art for games. So ayun, we realized that there was a lot of potential that we actually used it beyond just game development for other tools, for real estate listings and viewing things on 3D, which is very exciting. So yeah, that's me.
All right, sige. Yeah, I was actually supposed to ask Patrick to share a little bit of Aspire towards the end, but since tayo lang naman, no. Yeah, so one of our sponsors is Aspire, and Patrick is representing Aspire today, no. Yeah, and we're happy and glad that no, they are supporting me with the kinds of no crazy shit that I do. So Patrick, can you like introduce yourself and the and what you do at Aspire and what Aspire does?
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, yes sir.
Okay. Hi, folks. Yeah, so thanks for inviting me, OJ. Name's Patrick. I'm with Aspire. I am, I'm really impressed by the people that are here. I was telling OJ I got startup dreams too, so I'd love to learn from you folks, right? Um, in regards to Aspire, so it is a fintech company based in Singapore that is now really focused on growing in the Philippines. Specifically, the idea is to empower Filipino businesses that do cross-border transactions that may have some difficulty in, let's say, opening USD accounts. or being able to get that USD or foreign transactions into paying their operations in PHP, so more in FX. We're just basically trying to be the market leader in that aspect, and I think that's actually quite a need on the startup space. So really keen to be in the same space as you folks. On my end individually, I am based in the Philippines to focus on the growth of the market. So pleased to meet everyone, and yeah, looking forward to this this event.
And just to add, no, Aspire is Big Brother, bro, because they are YC startup. They are YC startup. They're Sequoia backed. So like the VCs, the rockstar VCs that we actually want, napansinin tayo, no, they
That's
actually
impressive.
invested in. Are like you're already Series C, no, Series C startup.
Yeah. We're in Series C now. Yeah.
Yeah, they raised over like $1 million in funding, and growing like wildfire, and we're glad that they're supporting us in this initiative. So yeah, so let's get on to it, no. So what I like the concept that this have is like, alam niyo yung kids react, diba? They eat spaghetti, they say, yeah, it's ayaw, yeah, ayaw ko, right? So now there's like several slides na I actually showed you guys earlier, no. No, and what's your reaction to it, no, whether you agree or disagree, or you would want to expound because it's not simply as that, no, or you want to give suggestions of how it could be improved and things like that. So obviously we're gonna be starting with the challenges that we have in the Philippine startup ecosystem, no, and so this is so the first slide I wanted to show is this, no. Well, yung ano na, we're trying to answer the question how to start a startup in the Philippines, but I'm trying to like don't don't start a startup in the Philippines, because there are many ways that you can actually earn money. You can start a traditional business. You can be in corpo if money is just your motivation, right? And if you want to be a no some sort of a personality, then you can just be a influencer, not really starting a startup. So starting a startup, uh, and it says here, so this is dated March 24 of last year. In Philippine Star, it says Philippines the worst country to launch a startup. No, and it says there because of the high cost of procedures. No, 23.3% is the cost of starting a startup. And then the tax is one of the highest in the region, about 25%, no. Di pa kasali yung VAT dyan, no. So there's even like 12% VAT. And then there's another article which is quite recent, no. It's just a couple of months ago. May 5th, dated May 15th, although this is like editorial or no, not. It says there, no, that to register a business in the Philippines, it would take 33 days. In our case nga, it's longer. So anyway, madami din akong hugot, but I'll start with you guys. No, and then the quality of life score is second, or second lowest. No, that's these are the journalists, and these are like research, no, from reputable sources like Hillstar and Inquirer. No, I don't think that they would uh, put out something or publish something that is uh, like not well researched. No, so what are your thoughts, no, for this, especially for Miguel? Like you're like the guy who's just starting a startup, tapos boom, meron ka na ito. Just don't, bro. Don't start a startup. Like you're like 22, bro. Pwede ka pang you can save yourself. you're not you're not deep into it yet, no? So why you start a
Yeah.
startup now? So anyway, what is your reaction to this, no, article? And then what I we actually suggest here is don't start a startup in the Philippines. So Miguel,
Honestly,
any comment?
as a startup, this is basically my second journey already. Pero when I started my first one, I you just need to partner with the right people. That's it. Kasi like when I started, no, I started with people that already has the same business model as I already have, which during that time it was outsourcing. So having to piggyback on a company already that time, it's a lot more cost efficient. Kasi like, you're not necessarily doing all the registration muna and everything. The focus was, you're creating the money first,
So
piggybacking ka
ano to
muna.
na? So one of your recommendations is don't register yet.
Don't
Is that
register yet.
the
Dahil
case?
parang marriage ring yun eh.
Okay, okay. So, yun. Ano na tayo doon na may nakuha tayong content na don't register yet.
Oo.
So
Pero yeah,
anyway,
oo.
recorded naman to. Dito yung mga pangalan natin. So if like BIR or DTI would go after us, then let's go. Okay, anyway, you were saying, Miguel. Yeah, just a little few words from you. Ano ba? What else? What else?
Uh, and then, honestly, like doing piggybacking is a lot more, easier, kasi you just need to find a partner who has the same or shares the same vision as you. And most of the
Gawa
time,
ko ng
kasi, as startups, we have, the only thing that we have are brilliant ideas. And what way to execute that with a partner that already has an existing model or existing, business model already. So for me, um, it's beneficial as a start kasi you can already get to the market as soon as possible and test it without having to, register a business muna and then having, all
right.
of the taxes, So,
Yun, no? Yeah.
so it's a good way to start
So yung
fast.
mga tricks, no? Huwag ka munang
Yeah.
manipula sa BIR. Bahala sila dyan sa buhay mo. so that was and then piggybacking on people that are already like seasoned in the business. That's what you're saying,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Piggyback. How about Kenneth? What's your take on this one? Like,
Yeah. Right.
especially we're not from Manila, right? So right, so it's actually different na at least guys from Manila, like andyan lang yung kubo, andyan lang yung diba? Andyan lang you have like co-working spaces for free. But yeah, Kenneth, go ahead, bro. Again,
Yeah.
dami kong diba? So anyway.
Yeah, I've been through a lot already since 2017, and one of the lesson I learned here in the Philippines, it's the worst market to introduce a tech startup. It's the worst, worst, worst. And though like a lot of people like your idea, a lot of people likes your product, but a lot of the almost all of them don't want to use your product. So that's really the challenge. And mostly here in the Philippines, as a founder, is you try to work with a problem that you experience, right? Which is those problems also. It's the same with other people here in the country, but the problem is the adaptation here in the Philippines is really the worst one. And then that's why like after that is hey, let's go international. We're able to make money international, then why limit here in the Philippines, right? And another also mistake that we learn is we follow the traditional way in which having your own office right away at the beginning, in which we spend a lot of money, that OJ, we have our
Yeah.
office here in Cebu, and that was really the most pressured
You know,
times
the
of my
office,
life.
the table at the back of Miguel is actually Ken's table before.
Oh, really?
Now
We
it's
sold
in
it.
our office.
We sold it, bro. We move out.
So, share lang eh.
So Kenneth paid full price. Tapos no, we get a huge discount when we furnish our office.
We sold it.
Yeah.
We sold everything, and yeah, I learned a lot. And having like a co-working setup now is a lot better. You don't have a lot of obligations every day. You are flexible. You can go to places anywhere. And yeah, before it was really difficult. So those are the things that I really uh learn from our especially in starting here in the Philippines. So, yeah. So
And just for context, Ken is a hardcore tech guy. No, he actually teaches no computer
oh yeah.
science. engineering.
Yeah, I resigned last semester, so I teach computer science and technopreneurship, so engineering also.
So he's hardcore tech guy, and coming from a hardcore tech guy who's saying na it's the worst to launch a tech company in the Philippines, no? That says a lot, no? But yun, mamaya himayin pa natin, no? Why are we still doing what we do, right? But I want to hear from Vince first, no? Yeah, bro. What are your thoughts on these studies that
Yeah,
we're
very, very interesting points coming from both of the speakers earlier. But Pare OJ, can I started, of course, informing even the new ones. Can you hear me?
Yep. Loud and
Informing
clear.
informing the users right now. Ano ba talaga yung startup para at least para dun sa mga hindi alam, malaman nila. So based on Forbes, startups are businesses that want to disrupt industries and change the world and do it at scale. So by definition, if you start a business and if you can't change the world out of it, you do not have the inspiration to change the world out of it, you can't disrupt industries. Technically, hindi ka nasa sa startup world. Nagsimula ka lang ng negosyo muna. But is it bad? It's not bad. We have to start from somewhere. Uh, Now, I agree with you that starting a startup in the Philippines, starting a venture that you want to change the world here in the Philippines is really difficult. I've asked around people around the world. There are investors already interested with Milo, with my company, and when they ask, so what country are you from? I'm from the
Philippines.
Philippines. Nako, back off ng konti. Where are you incorporated? Philippines.
Nako.
When I
Eki.
asked this, they answered, you really have a good startup. I'm just afraid to invest in you because the ease of doing business in the Philippines is not good. Just to sign up for an SEC in your country, it takes you not 33 days, more than 3 months in
Yeah,
actuality. That's
exactly.
what,
Kaya nga, 33 days, I don't even know where they got this number. But in our experience, like 2.5 months.
Sa amin
yeah,
bro, during pandemic, it was 6 months.
6 months, diba?
it's 33 business days, not including the weekend.
Oh,
So,
yeah. That's right. We have to
so
change this at 33 business days.
yeah, and
Approximately 3 months.
so I agree with Miguel na wag ka muna sign up i-register yung business mo. Why? Because there are a lot of validations that we have to do a startup. So when we start a startup, where do we begin? We always begin with the inspiration. Ano bang inspiration mo para gawin yan? Di ba? If you want to start a startup because you want to be called the startup founder, just because, alam mo yun, para malabel ka lang, then you're starting on a wrong foot. Di ba? When you start with a very strong inspiration, let's say, for example, Kenneth, he wants to make the lives of the teachers easier. In the beginning, Kenneth, yun yung simula, di ba?
Yes.
But now you're helping a lot of professionals globally,
Yeah. Can I share
making
more
their
about that?
lives easier.
Yeah, can I share? So the problem here is a lot of teachers really likes our products here in the Philippines, but the problem is when we introduce to the teachers, they want, to ask permissions in the institutions, and then we introduce
Which
to the
is,
institutions. Oh my God, it's very difficult.
So basically, the users who wanted to use the product is parang merong gine-gatekeep nung
Gatekeep.
admin
Yeah.
because the power of the purse is not within the teachers. It's in procurement and bidding and ano yan, dapat na may TOR, all of these processes that startups cannot
don't have.
compete. Right.
In
Yeah,
the
they
beginning,
don't
wala.
have. Hahanapan ka ng AFS for 3 years. 3 months
Ah,
old ka pa.
di ba?
So
So,
yeah, that's great.
so that's what I really like about what Kenneth does eh. Nag-uumpisa pala sabi ko, uy, it's a very simple solution to a problem that is existing globally. So nung magkasama kami sa Arise ni Kenneth, eh. Ta's makikita mo talaga yung growth, ang bilis. Give it a few months, mauunahan pa ako niyan. Kasi the problem that Kenneth is solving is not only for a niche market. It's a market that can be used by every business person, by every student, by every professional. Kumbaga parang Canva.
So,
So
so,
the
so
scale
right
of
now, yeah, it's no longer a technical problem. It's probably a marketing or a business model problem.
Yeah. That's
That,
our
that
issue.
diba? Parang yun na yung
Yeah.
kailangan i-solve because the technical,
Ayan na.
yeah, the technical is already
Agree.
there.
Good problems.
And we were grilled a lot, bro, during the final pitch, because what we want is to, when you pitch kasi is you like, to focus on a market where there's an impact, right? And then of course the more impactful market is really the educations. But they always say, no, there's no money in educations.
Right,
You
right.
really have to navigate. And yeah, we keep defending that. But now is we're trying to, okay, let's do this instead of trying to focus by one market. Let's try to find what works, and then try to be flexible in our business model. And yeah, we navigated a lot like for the past 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
But
Sige.
yeah,
Mag-next slide
so
tayo kasi pares pa rin naman eh. Nangaaway pa rin ako dito eh. Diba? So now, don't start a startup in the Philippines. So next point that I wanted to is ito. According to statistics as well, no, within the first 5 years, 99% of startups actually fail. And these are the reasons why, according to LinkedIn, no, poor product market fit, wrong marketing strategies, team issues, cash flow, whatever, right? So now, sabi ni Kenneth, Philippines is the worst. No, but tanggalin natin yung Pilipinas, it's still 99% of startups wherever they are in the world fail. Right? So what's your take on this? Vince, let's start with you. Yeah.
so the
And then
the odds
what you're doing, like you already know, ang yabang mo ba dahil ikaw yung magiging 1%?
hindi, no?
Like
Actually,
that was like give me a second, bro. Like I think that was me. Like ang yabang ko, like yeah, I'm narcissistic enough to tell like yeah, I'm gonna be the 1%. but that's not like every founder is built differently. No,
yeah.
I know you guys know me. I'm out there. I'm also like I'm a hustler, but at the same time, I can bullshit my way in and out of things. So I have that gift of gab that I would be able to use those talents, no. Buti na lang I'm morally upright kaya no. Di tayo scammer pero pero if that was the case, if I grew up differently, then I would have been scamming and doing like crypto shit and things like that. So now we're here in the startup space because it's challenging. It's a whole lot of hard work, and challenging is an understatement. But that's for me. It's just and we know that 99% of startups fail, but that belief that you can be that 1%, and you are able to communicate that to your team na ngayon yung team mo na rin naniniwala na rin na you will be that 1%, then that just gives us a lot of parang vigor to like really ride the wave and see it through because everybody knows from the very beginning it's going to be hard as fuck, right? So that's so it actually this would go in favor for us because we just think that we're just gonna be that 1%. But ayun, Vince, I know you have a very different approach to this one.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
dad
I,
is like
I agree with you. I have a 180 degree approach to this. So I don't look at the statistics. I don't hope to be the 1% or the 10% of 90% of that survives. One thing that I can tell the startups, the people who want to do startups now, is first do a business prior. A small business na sobrang hirap buhayin. Why? Because mapapractice mo kung paano on how you can make that business survive. The reason why I don't look at the statistics is that I don't want to be the 10%. I just don't want my company that is tantamount to my son die. It's a company that I made for my son. So if you look at the finances of our company, it took me 10 months to properly pay myself before I properly pay myself. For the first 6 months, I was not paying myself because I was giving it back all to the company so we could grow. That's
And
the
then for
biggest
context
difference.
si Vince, ang daming restaurant yan, may hotel yan. Tapos biglang nag-start
Hotel
up.
management naman. so,
No?
so I closed everything down. Ang last business I closed down last January. I had 7 small ones, but it was comfortable enough for our family just to live a very simple life. I mean, we can afford, we can so that's the difference. Now, what I
Why were you able
seen,
to bro
yeah, go ahead.
just side lang. So before you have like 7 businesses and then
Yeah.
no, when we spoke the last time parang sabi mo na focus na talaga ako dito. Why can't you
No.
8, di ba? Ba't kailangan dito sa startup eto lang
You know
talaga hindi
why?
7?
This is the first ever in my business, in my entrepreneur. I'm not speaking as a startup, as an entrepreneur, as a business guy. This is the first time that I saw a scale. This is the first time that I saw serving 60,000 people. Tapos, yung hockey stick growth, yung pa ganon,
Yeah, that's right.
pag makita mo yun, parang nasa tamang landas ata ako, kailangan ko na mag 100% focus. So, but then again, all of those stuff are, for me, it's secondary. Pero nakakakilig pa rin if you see na parang, uy, growing fast, la 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 la. But then again, one of my very good friends told me, hoy, huwag ka masyadong tumingin sa ganyan. That's vanity metrics. And that friend of
Sorry
mine
na.
is OJ Lopez. Ginano niya yung ano ko eh. I was able to parang to reflect and have a new perception of things. Sabi niya, pare, numbers lang yan. Magkano na ba kinikita mo? Sabi ko, kaya habang naman itong taon to. Ang
Sorry na,
saya-saya ng
yabang
feeling
talaga
ko,
ako eh.
binasag niya. But, that statement really changed how I perceive things. Na parang, oh, tama, bakit nga ba ako masaya sa PR? Bakit nga ba ako masaya sa growth namin? Eh sa totoong buhay naman, wala namang kwento yan. Pag ninegosyo ko, wala kang kita, wala rin naman eh. Diba? In a few months, mamatay ka rin. Diba? So, I mean, yeah, one thing that I can say to people who want to do their own startup, who wants to change the world, you try doing business. Because if you try doing business, you will see how to do your accounting, you will see how to market yourself and at least get revenue. Because if you want to do a startup, those factors are very important. And if wala ka ng foundation na yun, it would be very hard. And I think that's one of the reasons why for other countries, it's much easier for them. Yung mga Stanford, bakit ba sila magagaling? Kasi napag-aralan nila yun eh. Di ba? On the other hand, we are, again, as I've said earlier, the odds are against us in the Philippines. That's why we have to equip ourselves with the right experience as entrepreneurs, then change the world. That's my take.
Miguel, quickly bro. What's
Yes.
your take on this? Like you already know like 99% is gonna fail. Yeah. Are you like Vince who's not looking at the numbers and because he's also all in and it's also personal for him? Or like you're egotistical, I don't know, you think that you're gonna be the 1% just like us.
I think for me, it's more of like just prepare to fail, right? failure isn't bad. For me, in general, when it comes to startups or trying something out, I I want to succeed, right? But in terms of yung feel ko na I have to fail first in order to succeed later on, right? So fail now, succeed later. So for me,
So if Z Plats wouldn't take off the ground, no, for you that's just part of the journey.
yeah. The thing is that most of the
You're also like
startups,
22, right? So you have a lot of years left, man. Like you can do like
yun nga
five
eh, that's
startups
why I
in
love
the next
doing
five
this
years.
on my on my very very early years. Doing it in my prime years so that I have 1 decade or 10 yeah, 1 decade until 30, di ba? Na I can fail so many times
Oh,
and
Patrick,
learn how things are going to in my doing several approaches, but in general, I don't take things personally when it fails. Kasi, at the end of the day, yung makuha ko naman, it's more than, the knowledge that I've gained is more than whatever. So, um, but in general, what failure really, what makes you,
that's I think it's to your advantage. If there was like the startup world when I was 22, I would have not gone to school, man. Like if alam ko lang may option pa lang ganito, diba? I would have not like spent 10 years in college. No, but it was fun. But no, if
yeah,
meron palang career option na you can not have a degree and uh the upside of what you're trying to do is gonna be surpass the normal career path of most people. Uh,
mm,
then I think that's to your advantage, no, Miguel, na you're 22, right? 22, 23.
yeah, 22.
20, if I was 22, bro, and I already know like there's a startup ecosystem and all that, oh man. Simula na talaga dapat ako. So because we started, I was already like 30. When
Right.
we started the company and because there was no education at our time, no, like we don't
Yeah.
even know this was actually possible for us. It was like the degree, no, and then get a good job, and then hopefully climb up the corporate ladder, and you'll
Mm.
get a corner office someday when you're like 50. But yung pala, pwede pala agad, no? You can like shortcut and create your own company and put there in your business card, I'm CEO, bitch. Right?
Parang, ano yun, di ba sa Facebook yan?
Right. Exactly. So there's another one, no? I think we have like two more slides to go. But
Yeah.
how about like the rise of the rockstar founders, like romanticizing the whole journey. Because what we see right now is their multi-million homes and Victoria model the Victoria Secret girlfriends and all the all the things that they have because they are in tech, no. So at this no yung May 2024 top 10 richest men, 8 are in tech. Like I think it's just apparel si may-ari ng ng ito si Arnold and then the other Warren
Yung
Buffett,
believe
which
sa Arnold. Yeah.
and everybody else is in tech, right? So what can you say like now? Kasi dati when I was growing up, I'm a 90s kid. No, I never told myself that I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be a tech startup. Diba? Kasi wala namang ganun, diba? I wanted to be a basketball player. No, I wanted to be, yung ibang, you wanted to be a celebrity, you want to be artista, you want to be no, like that, no? Like those are like childhood heroes, right? But right now you have kids who wanted to be like Steve Jobs, no? This is a totally different shift of romanticizing, no? startup in tech, and of course these guys are legit rock stars. But do you think that that's something that, especially in the Philippine context, no? And then we know that most of the Philippine, no, not naman, eto sabihin ko na, 'di ba? Parang a lot of Philippine startups that have like Ivy League founders has easier access to capital,
Yeah.
right? If you have like, if you're a half, you're a if you're a half
Funny thing,
founder,
kasi si Kenneth, he said that
you're-
to me when we were on the event dun sa Google. And
yeah,
then he was like, bro, wag ka na lang mag-expect kasi mga inahanap nila, mga Ivy League.
right, exactly. So romanticizing this. Anyway, anybody want to comment on this? Because I don't want to like spend too much time. Siyempre, we want to also focus on the positive things. Promise, last na to.
Can start.
Anyone want to comment on romanticizing like the startup journey? No,
Yeah.
Si
yung
Kenneth muna, si
or-
Kenneth muna.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
thing
Kenneth.
one thing I can say, bro, is don't start a startup or a business if you want to be famous. That will not work. That won't work talaga. So that's
Yeah.
one thing I can say.
Ang daming founders, di ba, na ano, like, ang galing mag-pitch, pero but they don't have the business acumen, parang gusto lang grandstanding, then, you're better to be to be a politician, start a founder. Anyway, Vince, you're trying to say something?
Yeah. So looking at this list, if you're a founder, if you're a startup founder in the Philippines, and your mindset is local, and you want to be the top 10 richest man globally, you have to work 59 times. You know why? Because if you're focusing in the Philippines, you're earning peso. For you to become
Tama?
a billionaire, you
Oh.
have to work 59 times as a founder. On the other hand, if you start selling your product globally, there's a higher chance. Diba? Mas competitive lang, but you can charge dollars. Kaya nga si OJ, ang pinakamayaman dito sa amin. Kasi ang kliyente niya lahat, global. Pag Pilipino, hindi niya papansinin. Joke lang, joke lang.
No, bro, and then that's also one of the things that di ba? Like uh it could have been easier for us if we could have just immigrated to some other country, we have friends, di ba, na founders sila, and then they are based elsewhere. They're based in developed countries, and it's easier for them. They can actually have like a full-time job and then do their startup on the side, but then they're covered. No, they have healthcare and things like that. No, for us doing it in the Philippines, no, swerte lang tayo kung nagbabayad tayo ng PhilHealth.
OJ, let me add how disadvantaged we are. Si OJ and
Sige,
I,
sige.
we met a doctor sa Canada last month. We were part of a program that only one of 4 participated sa Canada. The doctor that was with us are now being onboarded.
Yeah.
Tapos tayo pare, naunahan niya tayo.
Grabe, no?
So that's how disadvantaged we are right now. But then again, we're happy for Doc. Masaya tayo para sa kanya. Yun nga lang, oh my gosh. That's how disadvantaged we are. So we have to really work our
So
ass off as
is it
Philippines.
easier? Is it easier to just migrate elsewhere, diba? And start the startup not in the Philippines, and you have more chances of success, or like the Philippines, because we have the chip on the shoulder, and long term, it could be like the next startup hub. Paul. Yeah.
Sige.
Like if you have the capacity, and hindi mo like bigyan ka agad ng startup visa, lipad ka, punta ka States, punta ka Canada, punta ka Dubai, punta ka wherever you want to, where your startup could thrive. Would you jump at that opportunity, or you're stubborn enough to do it in the Philippines with all the shit that we have just mentioned? And then because long term you think that chip on the shoulder would actually be a a arsenal or the bullet that would actually propel you to the next level, because you would undergo all these hardships, and once you reach the top, then the view is more uh it's more beautiful than if it is given, or if it is much easier than you have expected. Okay. Kenneth, migrate or Philippines?
Yeah, migrate. Or
Sige
register,
nga.
at least register your business in Singapore or
Right,
another
exactly.
or in US.
At least register.
Yeah. But
Miguel,
no hope in the Philippines if you want to raise a lot of funding. No hope.
Oh, you guys asking, right?
yeah.
Okay.
If it's like, if you have that opportunity to just migrate elsewhere
Yeah,
and
actually,
start.
ako I would migrate as well. If if like monetary,
Yeah, kaya nga, like there's no
yeah, I
issue,
would.
like bigyan ka agad ng opportunity. Yeah.
I would,
Yeah, so
yeah.
two, how about Vince? Oo nga, ikaw, magka-Canada ka na nga dapat eh.
No, wait lang. Medyo plastic ang sagot ko.
Go.
So
Yan yung gusto
if
ko
your
sa'yo eh.
business,
May curveball ka eh. Oo.
mana ako sa'yo eh. So if your business requires for you to migrate, then migrate. But if you're still on the validation phase, mag-validate ka muna ng Pilipinas. Kasi mas mura pa dito mag-validate eh.
Oh, for
Di
sure.
ba?
That's
It's
true,
much
yeah.
easier for us to run a company here. But then again, for growth, it's much easier to sell outside.
Yeah.
So it's a mix. It's a mix. But if you're gonna ask me kung
Right.
magmamigrate ka ba kasi mas maganda ang buhay na maibibigay mo sa anak mo, oh yes.
So like
Yes.
3
And
out of 3, right? So,
yeah.
and si Patrick, he's from Toronto, he's from Canada, and then he went to the Philippines. But naman hawak naman niya yung buong Aspire Philippines, di ba? So that's
I mean, it's more of
yeah.
like 50-50, diba? Kasi like, if you wanna start here, you can probably start here, but when you start expanding, then that's the only time that you start migrating. Something like
So
that.
this is the next question that I would ask now, what would be the first skill or value? So papunta na tayo dun. So now we have already shitted on the startup space. We already parang na natin nagano na tayo. Yung hugot natin, binigay na natin lahat. But before we go here, for me, I would stay in the Philippines just because of that na I would be a snowbird. Like, I'll have my permanent residence in the Philippines, diba? But then during spring and summer, I'll be like, just right now, I'm in the States. I'm touring around. But then I'll have my permanent residence in the Philippines. I'm probably gonna be going, 2, 3, 4 months. Go to the countries that I would want to expand to. But then, still live in peso, diba? Like in the Philippines, you have a maid, you have a driver. I mean, it's not far fetched for a upper middle class to have a maid, right?
Yeah.
Or even a middle class person to have a maid in the Philippines. But in developed countries, no, you have to be the upper echelon of the society for you to be able to afford a butler. So iba yung so that's just mean like in terms of quality of life, especially if you would have like international clients and things like that. I would still prefer to live in the Philippines, but then explore opportunities globally, and then earn in dollars, spend in peso. That's me, and we have that unique opportunity kasi we have different startups, and our startups enables us for us to do that. Okay, so next is eto na. So if you're like talking to your your naive self as a startup founder, what would be like a first skill or value that you want to have, or a God-given talent that you want to have, before starting a startup? What's that first thing that is for you is a prerequisite for a founder, in order for them, pag para sa it's like, because you have that's why you're doing your journey. I like a lot of us, we have reached our milestones, but we're still not the Googles and the Teslas of the world. We're still a long way, right? But For you, what would have that first gear? Ken?
Yeah. For me, simple lang talaga. Be a hacker and a hustler. I really like solving problems. I easily get frustrated with processes here in the Philippines, and um, be a hustler also. Try to sell your products here in the Philippines. Try to introduce some markets, and so on and so forth, just for you to uh survive as a founder, or as at least as a person, right? So yun lang talaga. And then like moving forward, if you get
That's a
something work,
rare characteristic, no? Because usually the tech guys, they don't want to talk to people, no? But
yeah.
Ken
So,
has, a unique skill set, no, being a hacker and a hustler at the same time, which is,
It
very
saves it saves a lot of money.
for sure, for sure. But it also gives you more chances of winning, di ba?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're you're basically two-person that could, do both things at the same time. You can, sell
Yeah,
your service
yeah.
at the same time. You can code. No, for me, I'm just the bullshitter, so I can't really code. So, yeah. Miguel,
actually, for me, two things. Sell effectively, and the other one is
sales,
learn. Ano yan?
sales. You said
Yeah,
sell effect.
sales. Yeah, like to
Yeah.
sell the product effectively to people. And the other one is to know how to create your own product from foundation, because it's a lot easier to just find the talents na kasi you're the ones who made it, like
Right.
what to look for. So it's a lot easier to oversee everything if you have these two things. It's my idea. Yeah.
I have advice for Miguel. There's this no na. First time founders focus on product. Second times second time founders focus on distribution. They don't actually care if they know how to make the product or not. They just know that there are people who's gonna buy it. Right? So anyway, again, you're 22, bro. Like having you in this conversation, there's gonna be a lot of gold for you. So no, I totally understand where you're coming from, but take that into consideration. That
Yeah.
second time founders, now they focus more on the distribution than product creation. This product, no,
Parang bigger picture na siya, no? Yeah.
right. But then again, you said sales at the first, first also, you said two things. So yeah,
Two things.
on point, on point. Vince,
So I'd like to add also on that. Miguel, if you download Milo right now,
Yeah.
our product is not perfect.
Mm.
Nagka-crash pa siya. We have same photos in our thumbnails. We're still trying to iterate. I'm spending a lot on iterating the product per se. But the main goal is release the product, see how much users they can get, push on marketing. Tapos they would actually tell you how to improve. You won't think about it anymore because if you talk to
customer
users,
feedback is
yeah.
your road.
So
Get it out there as soon as
so
possible.
yeah. So and this is a conversation that we have made with my tech guy.
Mm.
Sabi niya, Vince, I want the product to be perfect. Ayokong mapapahiya ako. So when I told him, hey, sino ba magsasorry? Ikaw ako. Ako naman kakausap sa kanila eh. I will talk to all of them. You're just the back end, di ba? So I launch the product, I will say sorry to everyone, right? Then
Yeah, I
for
think it's one
simply,
of the hardest, no, like for for you to actually sell people on your idea, on your vision of the world that's not there yet.
yes. So yes. And after
Yun,
piggybacking on that,
back to the question, bro.
yeah.
Let's keep it
Back to the
rolling.
question, yeah. So the first thing, I agree with Miguel, become a master salesperson. Dahil si OJ, master sales yan eh. Bullshitter yan eh. Galing mag-convince ng mga tao yan eh. Second is just have a background on entrepreneurship. If you want to study masters, then go. If you want to try and make mistakes on a small business, then great. Just know how you run an effective, an efficient business, because that would save you a lot in the long run.
And there's also like going to stats again, no? Like 35 to 45 year old founders now are the most likely, like they have I mean, there are founders who are successful in their 20s, but the most likely to build a sustainable business, because so it's that age range, no, 35 to 45.
Yeah.
But for me, no, so talagang inano ko to, no. I think that the first for everybody, for everyone, is actually self-awareness. Whether you are fit for a founder or not. Kasi if you're self-aware that you're, no, a employee, no, there's nothing wrong becoming an employee. You know, a lot of our, you know, majority of the people that we have in the world are employees. So there's nothing wrong becoming an employee, and if you're self-aware, no, na ayoko yung ano na yan. Like I don't want the weight of all the responsibilities towards me, then, you know, you don't need to be a founder. No? And it's not, you know, it's okay. It's okay not to be an entrepreneur, especially if your like parents are entrepreneurs and you're deep in the tech scene, but then you're not really a founder, and then you know for yourself, pero andun ka na, kaya pa founder ka na lang, no? So that's, I think, self-awareness. And also the same thing with those who are employed, but they have that entrepreneurial itch. No? They are actually self-aware that, no, I want to make something of my own. I want to be my own boss, and those are like indicators, no, that you want to be a founder, or you want to build your own startup, even if you don't have an idea or a product yet. No, just being self-aware that you want to do something on your own, and then iba din yun. Like, there are also multiple founders that you can be the number two guy. You can be like a great COO or a great CFO, but you can never be a great number one guy. No, you can never be a great. And then sometimes, no, na you're a very good number two, and then you quit because you want to start up your own, so you can be the number one, and then you fell off your ass because, no, you're not really fit to be a number one. You're fit to be the best number two there is, right? So, you know, deep self-awareness is something that I would really recommend for aspiring founders to have. If this is not just hype, di ba? Pag hindi ka makatulog kasi gusto mo talagang gawin yung idea mo, or you just saw the documentary of how Facebook came to be, or you just watch the Spotify, how Spotify and Netflix, now you wanna build an app, right? So so those are, I think, yun na nga, ano, is the first thing that, you know, would be founders, aspiring founders, is to really self-assess, you know, whether you are cut for it or not. Because as, we already did all our hugot. No? Hard is an understatement, and it's going to take the next, 7 to 10 years of your life away from you. And if you're trying to be someone that you're not, then you're just gonna be miserable at the end. No? So that self-awareness, and I'm gonna skip through these slides. So these are like few questions, no, that for our audience to know, like one of the questions here, no, isa na lang, no, am I comfortable of making decisions with limited information and dealing with potential failure? Like, answer, Kenneth, comfortable making decisions, limited information, dealing with potential failure? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Miguel,
I think, yeah.
Vince,
No,
no? So
no, you have to
you
know.
want to be fully informed before you actually make a decision?
No, you
That's
just
how
have
you're.
to know. I mean, there's limited information. Eh. How limited is it? You have to know something. But of course, you have
Right.
to make a decision, right? There's a certain level of limitation, but if you have no information, don't make a decision. If you have good enough information, then you can make a decision. Then you can avoid
So is
potential
it
failure.
better to don't decide rather
No,
than,
no, no, no. This you have to decide on the information that you have right now. But for
yeah?
example, you don't have enough information. Hanapan niyo ako ng information, di
Okay.
ba? Give me more
Uh,
information.
got it. But you're just not comfortable of doing that. But you just have to.
But sometimes you have to.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you
you
have.
have to. Yes, as
It's
you
not
have to.
comfortable.
But making an informed decision is still way better than an uninformed one, right?
Nakikita ko
I
talaga
think
yung pagiging traditional entrepreneur mo, Vince, eh. Na lumalabas talaga yung, di ba?
yung
Pagiging traditional
paminsan-minsan,
entrepreneur.
no?
Right, right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So see, even that, no, na, na, no, pag founder ka na, like, yeah, sige, bahala kayo dyan. But
Yeah.
being a seasoned entrepreneur like Vince, no, he would want to have all the information that he can get before he would, make a decision. No? And then last na lang, itong last, no. Am I prepared for the possibility of not growing a salary for extended period? Vince, you did this, right?
Did this for all my businesses, man. Nagsusweldo lang ako pag kaya na akong sweldohan ng kumpanya ko. Pag hindi ko pa kaya sweldohan, huwag ka muna last ka sa mweldo. So hanap ka ibang racket.
Yep.
So
Miguel, how about you?
Actually, for me, I'm kind of in a yes, because I'm kind of in the middle of it already.
Right.
Like it's
You're not
been
earning
probably
yet, bro. Kaya, like, we
it's
have no
been 3
choice
years,
not to
diba?
have a
3 years.
salary.
3 years na I haven't had any salary, but I'm proud of it, right? Kasi
Right.
whatever I earn, that's from the what I'm doing, which I'm very happy. I would rather have that than have a normal job. Nothing wrong with a normal job. It's just that I am free to do whatever I want whenever I want
Right.
for
Ken,
a long time, di ba? Parang I can be me, di ba? Because I can never do that on a job.
for sure. Ken, salary.
Yeah, I only receive salary, bro, from teaching.
Yeah, exactly,
Funny.
right. So you have your main thing, and that's and
Yeah.
got you. All right.
Pero
So
honestly, I still do have parang cash flow on the side,
Yeah.
that's backing
right,
me,
right,
of
right.
course, naturally.
Okay, and then go Vince.
Bro, I have a question. What did we
Go.
discover when we were out of the country? How much are the founders getting paid in Canada?
Oh
Igitin
fuck
natin ng
yeah.
konti.
Oh,
Pero in ano to these are funded founders naman, diba? Funded founders. Magkano nga yun, bro? Can you
$17,000 per month.
oh,
Yeah. You know what, OJ? When we received funding sa GIF before,
right.
our contract salary was $16,000 per
Exactly,
month.
bro. That's
holy
how
smokes.
That's the
yeah.
average. But pag ginawa mo yon sa negosyo mo, next year, sarado ka na.
Wala ka na cash flow.
Wala ka ng cash flow. Nakaipon ka na, di ba?
That's why the seed stage is, di ba? 3-5 million, tapos seed funding $5 million because of all those market rate salaries for founders. No? But again, Pilipinas tayo eh. Anyway, I was just trying to say that if the answer to all the questions that I listed here is yes, then you must be crazy. But because again, different people have different answers. But no, to have like yes for everything, I don't. That even the salary one, the last one, I would even say no for me because I have a family. I can't like not get paid for what I do, right? So everybody and iba yung like how I think about this is I have to feed myself first in order for me to be able to do the job that I'm supposed to do so that I could feed everybody else. So because I'm like so parang you take care of the golden goose. And at this very moment, I'm still the golden goose of our startup. So I have to be the one to be well fed so that I can produce the golden eggs for everybody to be able to do the respective roles. So yeah, so again, no nga ako dito sa last question. But then if you really have that entrepreneurial itch and that craziness in you, this is ito yung Miss Universe answer ko sa ano, di ba? Vince, that big dream, yeah, would have not been put inside of you if you don't have the capacity to achieve it. So, all the big dreamers out there, no, hindi naman yan nilagay diyan, no? Just because if you're like, diba, if you talk to like an ambitious person, he's ambitious because it was there inside him. Uh, and a lot and it's not been put there by a higher being just because gusto lang nilang mang-asar, di ba? Hi, gusto mo yan, pero hindi namin bibigay sa'yo, di ba? But then, that's actually been put inside of you because you actually have the capacity to achieve it. That doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. That's why hustle porn, di ba? Gusto natin mahirapan lagi. And that's how startups are built. Right? So I think we're gonna end it. Supposedly, I'm gonna ask Vince to share. No, because it is totally different what we're trying to do, Milo and si Hostaway. Hostaway, just a brief, no. Hostaway is a unicorn startup. No, so they are doing software for parang Airbnb, not really like property management or Airbnb-ish businesses, something like that. No, so Hostaway is they are already a unicorn, but then yung one of the sabi ni Marcos, the founder of Hostaway, is that uh, like everybody here, like you work on your business because there was a need. Like for Vince, no, it's very personal for him. It's about his son. Si Marcos, kanya naman, because we don't know anything about this industry, so we want to work on it. And because they are naive enough to be outside of the box thinkers because they are not from that industry. That's why they are now a unicorn. Kasi they just did everything differently from what industry standards would have dictated them to do. And dahil wala nga silang experience doing that sort of industry, then that's why right now they are a unicorn. Tama ba yung pagkaano ko, Vince? Vince and I were there when he was telling the story. So and then I think we have this is like the like big story moment, diba? That at the end of the day, if you're but they were like almost bankrupt for runway daw nila 3 months na lang. And then so the story of Marcos and hearing it from him uh, 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 talking in front of us about his journey for 12 years before becoming a unicorn. No, it's just amazing, and it's so inspirational that having the experience that Vince and I had in Canada. So I wanted to a lot of Filipino startups to actually explore. Even Cebu, di ba? Pupunta ka lang ng Manila, it would totally change your mindset about how the startup ecosystem is. Punta ka lang Singapore, iba na naman. Punta ka Hong Kong, iba naman. How much more if you go like Silicon Valley and all these places that are, it's really like startup culture is prevalent. All right, Vince, take us home, bro.
Yeah, so I just wanted to tell everyone na nagsasalita si Marcos, ang naalala ko si OJ. You know why? Because their competition raised $160 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Right,
Ang
right,
sabi
right,
lang ni
right.
Marcos during that time, tinanong siya ng investor, they asked him, how much are you raising? And how did you come up with that valuation? He answered, well, our competition raised $160 million. And because we're number one, we're just gonna raise 165 billion. Sabi ko, parang, that's OJ's personality, much better than the competition always. Talaga magiging competitive. So, I really remember his personality during that time. And this guy, without any travel experience, grew a travel company in the middle of the pandemic. Which is, what the fuck? Diba? Ay, bawal pala sa vlog ko. Pakikat yun.
Hindi, pwede.
What the
Wala
hell?
pa naman tayo MTRCC. Saka na, pag meron tayo, sabihan na tayo ni Patrick, uy, di na namin kayo sponsoran pag lagi kayo
Yeah. So, and lastly, when we go out of the country, just OJ got good contracts there. For me, for Milo, we got 6 invites for soft landing to different countries. So that's what we got. So it's very important for us, for the new founders who want to start a startup business to already think global. And I think right now that's one of your main mission, OJ, right? For startups to start
Yeah,
global. And at the same
yeah,
time, partner with bigger companies that would help you out. And for example, making your cash flow or transfer of funds easier. Kagaya nga ng sponsor ni OJ, di ba? Aspire.
right, right. Yun, no? Ayun na, next na ata si Vince na sa sponsoran nito, ah. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to to advocate, no, like especially startups in the countryside, no, like no well, Cebu is urbanized, but no, there are actually kids in state universities who have really good ideas, and then they have no very highly technical thesis projects that were just not commercialized just because no, they just thought that the end is graduation, and they would climb the ladder. But then ang ano ngayon, so again, if this was opportunity that I have when I was in my early 20s, I would have grabbed it immediately. And because I didn't have that opportunity, then no, I might as well advocate for other people to grab this opportunity we have right now. No, with the advent of AI, I mean, the internet in the Philippines doesn't suck anymore, no, as much as like 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
so it's no, infrastructure is getting better. No, there's a lot of community building activities, no, like there's a lot of initiatives from public and private entities, no, advocating for startups, no, the venture capital, uh at least ngayon nagpapakita na sila, no, although it's not that they are writing checks here and there, unlike in Silicon Valley na may idea ka lang, it could be a $250,000 idea without any prototype, no, it's no longer like that. But I think we have that already. Like, the community is improving, the ecosystem. There's a lot of ecosystem champions. Just like, shout out to Carlo Calimon. Kino-coin ko na siya yung startup whisperer of the Philippines, no? Carlo Calimon of Startup Village, who took us to Toronto to enjoy all of the the perks that we have there, and just to immerse ourselves with the biggest tech conference in Canada, no. So that was and invest his own money. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So they invested their own resources from Startup Village, just to take us there, and hope that that's one of the things that sabi ko nga kay Vince, we have to pay this forward for other startups that weren't able to be there, and then to share all the things that we have learned in the communities that we belong. And no because diba, wag me, we are all gonna make it. All right, so with that, I would like to call on yung Patrick, and thank you so much again, Patrick, for and Aspire for making me one of your community ambassadors. And this is one of the things that we have talked about with Miguel, that enabling these kinds of opportunities that we have. Well, we would have liked to do this in person, but since it's not possible at this point of time, then next month na lang, papainom tayo ulit. Wala si Patrick.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so again, our sponsor for this, how do we call it, man? I don't even have a term for it. Like this initiative, yeah, let's call it that. I don't even want to call it a podcast or webinar or a discussion, online discussion meeting. Our sponsor for this initiative is Aspire, and to talk a little bit more about Aspire and what Aspire does, and how Aspire can help startups and the ecosystem that we are in. Yeah, take it away, Patrick.
Hi, folks. Just making sure you hear me loud and clear.
Yep, yes, sir.
All right, thank you, OJ. Yeah, just again, name's Patrick. And yeah, I'm with Aspire, and just quickly, just to kind of like wrap up everything that's been discussed here, right? I think that I noticed in regards to the startup space here in the Philippines is a lot of the dreams to be able to, go global with your clientele, right? And I think I want to tie that into what we are trying to do, Aspire is trying to do in the Philippines, right? So, very, very simple here, right? So the idea is, I'm sure you guys, a lot of you folks have experienced this, right? The idea of opening a USD bank account in the Philippines, right?
Possible.
So, so, in the simplest terms, if you want to be able to kind of bill in USD or bill in foreign transactions, not just in USD, I think we would be a good partner for you folks because we will enable you to have global multi-currency accounts and also be able to move those, collect, I guess, receivables into your operations in the Philippines in market leading rates, right? So that is something that I want to be able to just share with you folks because I think that's actually kind of like a really important thing in the startup space and really cool to be able to be part of just listening in on the discussion here. If you folks have any questions in regards to Aspire, you have OJ, you also have me, right? I'm just on LinkedIn, right? So it's just Patrick Simeon there. Yeah, that's really it for me at this point. There's more features, FYI, and I'd love to really get into you folks about that. But I think on a high level perspective, since we're talking about global clientele here, I wanted to really drill in on that, right? The idea that like, you operate in the Philippines, a lot of benefits to it, right? In regards to, I know OJ was talking about like living in peso, right? So
Yeah. Earning in dollars, living in peso. That's the dream, bro.
yeah, so I think that's actually where we can really be partners for you folks, right? And yeah, I'm probably I'm really hoping to hear from you folks actually, like really interesting business
Drop
models
your
you guys have.
details on the chat, Patrick. If some of the
Sige,
guys
sige.
here in, some of our audience, our friends, who wants to reach out to you and
This
learn
is
more
my
about.
email. This is my number.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
Vince and Kenneth would want to learn more. Schedule right away, bro.
I
Yeah.
I registered.
FYI, an FYI as well, like a pattern that I noticed with a lot of Philippine startups too is the whole SG entity, right?
For sure, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah. So if you guys want to discuss that too, we can actually chat. Just FYI, right? Yeah, I mean, if you're in Manila, or actually I'm going to Cebu as well, like this month. If you guys actually want to grab coffee and whatnot, nasa Pilipinas lang naman ako eh, so yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's stay in touch, folks.
All right, thank you again, Patrick of Aspire and Aspire for sponsoring us and me as their community ambassador for Visayas. But we have actually audience not just in Visayas, but also in Luzon. In any case, no, this is Aspire, and we are very thankful that they are our partners. Again, Big Brother, no, like Series C startup. And also, I want to thank these guys that we have today, the Startups React. No? Diba, Kids React. Parang natutuwa ako dun dati. Yeah, Startups React. So, Kenneth the presenter, Vince of Milo, and Miguel of Z Platts. Thank you so much, everybody. Any last words? Let's have like a round table for everybody. Yeah, I want to go first, Miguel. If where do they find you? If they're interested in what you're trying to do. And then
Sure.
yeah, your elevator pitch, bro.
All right. Contact us na lang. I'm gonna put my contact information in the chat.
Napag nyo lahat sa chat para madaling i-screenshot.
Yeah. For me, let's do this, bro. Friday, 8 p.m. There are a lot of viewers Friday, 8 p.m.
Friday 8 p.m. Sige. Okay, ikaw
Yeah.
magaling din eh. You have to consult. Sabihan mo
Sa
anong gagawin natin. Pare, kasi
Saturday night, marami din. There are a lot of users who watch Saturday night because after they go out in the morning up until the evening, they go home and they try to watch some stuff.
okay.
Pahinga, di ba? So those are some good
Yung ano ko kasi,
hours.
if we were gonna continue to having live audience, because what I wanted to have is to actually have professionals edit it. Diba?
I have a
Para,
team. I'll help you out.
I
I
know,
have
bro.
motion graphics.
Pero yun nga,
Tapos
yun nga,
go to our office. We
live
have a
audience,
studio.
it's like is live audience essential or ano tayo, like studio canned, and then we just have the editing team do their magic. So those are the things that I'm think. Kaya nga, we're just winging
Validating.
it.
Ano yan? Paano
Pero
bang Google event yung setup? Ano yan?
yeah, exactly, bro. That's why I want your ideas. No,
Okay.
for us, but we have the proper intention. I think our intention and our advocacy, no, would have a lot of supporters. No, we don't have any ulterior motive of doing this. Obviously, we want to promote our startups and things like that. No, that's obvious. But no, it's more for the community than for ourselves, and then no, how we would be able to inspire the next generation of founders to be recruited in this crazy world that we are in. No, mas madami para madami tayo sa 99%, na joke lang. Anyway, yeah, Ken, and any
Yeah.
ano,
So hopefully also we can align and distribute your contents through Presenter in the future.
oh nga, yung real estate pare, di ba? We can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another also, bro, like we have an announcement, so we'll be do another launching on on August 17. There will be
Yan ako.
in Space
Cebu?
Latitude. Yeah, in Space
Cebu?
Latitude. Yeah, in Cebu.
Okay.
So we're excited. Hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll already be there by that time. I'll be back August first week.
Yeah.
Miguel, any on all right, ano, Vince, you were
Have my
habol.
contact information. So, ayun. So, just contact us via email or just go to our website. Ayun. Yeah.
Right. Vince, may pahabol ka pa? Wala na, okay na. All right. Okay, folks, thank you so much for again joining me in this initiative. And then again, thank you to all our sponsors, Aspire and Digital Pilipinas, and all the startups here, Ken of Presenter, Vince of Milo, and Miguel of Zplats, and everybody who's in our friends in the Zoom world. Shout out to everybody. Di ko na makita yung chat ko, but we have about 10 people. No? So MJ is here. Iansky. Who's Iansky? Si Ian ba to? Ian
Yeah, I
Cosin?
guess.
Charles Kabanban. And then Josie, bro. Musta?
Yo, hello.
Yun. Okay. So, yun, that's it for today. And hopefully next week we'll do like a part 2 series. Hindi ko nga alam anong part 2 ng ano eh. Kasi ano ko lang parang hugot. Tapos it's more of the why pa ngayon eh. Like not even the tactical stuff, no? I don't want to go tactical. It's gonna be boring. But anyway, now we have to go there sometime, somewhere. Pero, yun nga.
Bro, wait.
Part of it.
Alam mo magandang hook next week? Can you cut the recording na?
Sige. Paano ba ito magtatal? Sabihin mo na, edit naman natin ito.
Huwag na, bakit mo kailangan mong cut?
Stop.
Ako eh.
Bye guys, thank you so much for having us, and see you when we see you.